Today, Democrats are not ruling out impeachment of Donald Trump, but the top lawmaker on the House Oversight Committee says they have other priorities in the run-up to the midterms.
I think impeachment always has to be on the table, but I think we should be clear that Donald Trump commits impeachable offenses weekly. What we have to do right now, most importantly, is stop and slow the Trump agenda. That is the single most important thing. We know the votes don't exist in the Senate, but everything has to remain on the table as we build a case to the American public that Democrats need the power to hold him accountable and stop his agenda in November.
And joining me now, Democratic Congresswoman and our friend from California, Sydney Kamlager-Dove. She is on the House Foreign Affairs and Judiciary Committees. Congressman, welcome. Your colleague there noting that you don't have the votes now for any potential impeachment of Donald Trump, but will it be a priority for Democrats if you take back control after the midterms?
Well, first, I just want to say how much you are a legend, a consummate professional, a fellow USC Trojan, and it has been an honor to speak with you and your audiences over the years. Thank you, Alex Witt.
Thank you.
Yes, Democrats are walking and chewing gum at the same time right now. We are planning to win in November so that we can have the gavels and we can manage the agenda. And the goal is to go after the reapers and the sycophants that are in Trump's cabinet who have been implementing his dystopian Project 2025 and to make those cases to the American people so that we never see this again, while at the same time working to bring down costs for the American people and resurrect, separation of powers and the Constitution.
So how would the House use its investigative powers if it takes back the House in January 2027?
Well, so one of the things that I've done is I've introduced articles of impeachment on Russell Vought, the architect of Project 2025. This is a guy who has essentially disrespected and marginalized the authority of the American people. Congress is the voice of the American people. And Russell Vought says that Congress and that the American people are a mere suggestion. That is why he's terminated thousands of federal workers. He dismantled USAID. He's defunded the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And those are not things that he is able to do. He has also illegally terminated billions, hundreds of billions of dollars in funding projects that have gone to states that have that voted for Kamala Harris in 2024. And they admitted this in the courts. That is illegal. So what we have to do is make the case to the American people why folks like Russell Vought should not have that kind of power and should really be charged and prosecuted. And there are more Russell Voughts throughout this administration that have been harming and disrespecting the American people.
Do you think any Republicans would sign on with you to that?
Well, my hope is that, the fever breaks in Congress and folks find a spine before November elections happen. We have seen Republicans cross over and vote with Democrats on the Iranian war powers resolution, right? On TPS protections for Haitians and Venezuelans, on the release of the Epstein files. But we cannot have them be so inconsistent and standing up to Donald Trump and this administration. They have been reckless, they have been corrupt, and they need to be held accountable. And the goal is to win in November so that we can begin to hold this administration accountable and build a case for the 2028 elections.
So this morning, as you know, the new Attorney General, Todd Blanche, addressed concerns about a Department of Justice Office of Legal Counsel memo that was published this week, saying that the president can assert executive privilege over conversations with private advisors. Critics say it could be used to guard himself against future investigations. Let's take a look.
We have to let a president feel like he can have frank conversations with individuals and get honest feedback about running this country without the risk of it being used by him and others, like what you just heard, in a way that's inappropriate. And so this wasn't any novel legal concept. This wasn't us pushing the law beyond where it already was. It's just saying, to make it crystal clear, as the Supreme Court has said, that a president has a right to have clear legal counsel from his advisors. And whether that advisor is getting paid by the federal government isn't the only condition that matters.
I think I'm going to guess your answer here, but I'm going to ask, do you agree this isn't a novel legal concept? It's just a necessary protection for the president?
I feel like I want to set my hair on fire after listening to that. I mean, Todd Blanche is not the attorney general. I mean, he did get confirmed, but he is Trump's personal lawyer. He is the guy responsible for coming up with this, $1.6 billion slush fund to help January 6ers get money. This is the guy who botched the release of the Epstein files. This is the guy who is a sycophant of Donald Trump and is going to continue to carry out his agenda against the American people. The American people want a president and an administration that they trust, that is credible, that they know is working for them. And this attorney general has essentially sidestepped all kinds of questions about if he is going to be accountable to the American people or is he going to be accountable to Donald Trump. And the answers that you heard him share right there suggest that he is only interested in providing cover to Donald Trump.
I knew most of that answer, but not the setting your hair on fire part. That made me laugh. Okay, but let's talk about Iran because you were on the Foreign Affairs Committee. The 60-day ceasefire memorandum of understanding with Iran, that's nearly up, and it does not appear the two sides are any closer to a deal. So the strait remains essentially closed, and the president says he is low-keying it on Iran. But this is gas prices now average, more than $4 a gallon. And then you have Vice President Vance, who said reducing the cost of oil and gas is now goal number one. But then here's the president. Take a listen.
For you to pay a tiny little bit more for your gasoline, just remember you're doing it so that a very evil country cannot have a country. Really, it's the number one state sponsor of terror in the world. We don't want to have them have a nuclear weapon. So remember that when you have to pay a little bit more, you're at $4. It's okay. I mean, I'll never apologize. I did the right thing.
Is Trump's selling point there on this war, is that working with your constituents?
No, not at all. Gas in my district is $6. At one point, gas in California was almost $8. What we do know is that this war is completely unnecessary. We also know it's illegal and is unauthorized. And we know that the American people care about the service members who have died or who are under distress on the USS Lincoln. They are concerned about gas prices going up. They're concerned about our national security and munitions going down. One of the reasons why we need to win in November is that we can have additional leverage points like the power of the purse to rein this president in. But Donald Trump needs to level up with the American people. He needs to stop saying crazy things like the Strait of Hormuz could become a U.S. territory. And he needs to tell the American people how he is going to get us out of this unnecessary, illegal, and economic war, because the Strait of Hormuz was open before February 28th. We were not involved in this economic hostage situation that he has created for the American people. And he has said time and time again that he doesn't care about our pocketbooks. He does not care about our financial situation. And he reiterated that in that clip you just showed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time, for your kind words as well, for being a fellow Trojan. It's all good. I'll see you soon, my friend. Thank you much.